Hi guys, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And welcome to
There's Something Wrong with the Elizabeths.
I've hit a wall.
Yeah, you look like you've got something to say.
I've hit a wall. Firewall, if you will. Okay, I'm gonna pitch a movie to you. Okay, I'm gonna pitch a movie to you.
Delightful.
Okay, here's a movie. The premise is really out there. Some people hear it and they think this is great. This is gonna be a great movie. Some people hear it and they're like, this is really weird. And it's about a character who's looking for their sense of identity. They're making some new friends, some valuable friends that help them in their journey.
Sure.
There's a lot of mirror play. Like there's a lot of mirrors and like seeing themselves in mirrors and being seen in mirrors and what is my identity and who am I really? And they go on this long, convoluted journey that has some unnecessary like musical numbers and dance scenes that we learn because this is what we do. And then at the end,
Lady in the Water was missing a dance.
it was missing a dance scene. Though we did get the very beginning of that one musical that one song.
Yes.
That was great. And then at the end,
That's a good song.
the character's arc is somehow done. And nothing's really changed. And even though the story doesn't make a lot of sense and no one's really spent a lot of time on the story, someone has spent a lot of time making it look good and really spending time and concentrating on like the colors and the angles and making it look good. But the story doesn't make any real sense and nothing really progresses.
Are you talking about Showgirls?
Which movie am I talking about? Is it Showgirls or the Emoji Movie?
We did not rehearse that at all. She was just like, I have something to say. And I was like, okay, well, I'll let you say it.
We just finished the 6th viewing and we played it with the director's commentary on. I'm sorry I'm yelling. Played it with the director's commentary on. And it was like the director and a bunch of other of the main people that were doing a layout. And he said early on, he was like, mirrors. Thematically, it's about identity. It's represented by a mirror. And I was like, oh shit, it's Showgirls. And then I just watched the rest of the movie with that in mind. And it's fucking Showgirls. This one didn't have a rape scene, thank God.
Yeah.
But it's Showgirls.
Yeah, I mean, the character is who they are at the beginning, and then they go on a journey, and then they end up right back in the same...
Physically even
in the same
space.
location.
Yeah.
Yes. Physically and emotionally. I mean, not as much self-doubt, more confident in themselves, but still... Yeah, basically
and like
in the same spot.
And I liked watching it with the commentary on because they really did emphasize. He said this is a labor of love, which was fun.
Yeah, they would have done this for free just because they loved
it so much. But like they really emphasized.
I just really love Dropbox, y'all. I just love it.
Oh yeah, he actually acknowledges that line. It sounds like a Dropbox ad.
Feels like a Dropbox advertisement, but we had to explain how secure it is. And why the robots can't get in. Or the bots, why they can't get in.
But yeah, no, and but they really did emphasize, and now I feel like I will have a greater appreciation for the art of it. I do feel like effort was made, and that was something I've been surprised by in the repeated watches, is that effort was made to make it look good, but the effort was lacking in the story. And Lizzie pointed out, they keep calling out all these different writers. Feels like there wasn't a cohesive story.
They'd be like, oh, who did the writing for this scene? Oh, or like this was this scene. Oh, they did. But it's like all these different writers on the scene, different scenes, and like not a lot of cohesion happening. And you pointed out that they keep talking about the animation and they keep talking about the colors and they keep talking about all these different things, but they don't talk a lot about the story in the like director's commentary. And that feels like it's definitely pointing out a flaw.
In a lot of ways, that kind of reminded me of... Did you see Avatar, the Blue People movie?
Yeah.
Did you see it in theaters?
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw it in theaters. It was like finals week, and I should have been studying. And I was like, I'm stressed. Everyone's been saying how great this movie is. I'm going to go see it and just like sort of disappear from my problems. I go and I was one of the only people in the theater. It was almost completely empty because it had been out a long time and it was like during the middle of the day. And I remember being in the theater and being like, I should be studying for finals. Like,
Yeah.
this is so boring. Because it's gorgeous, but the story means nothing.
That's lame.
Yeah, it's like, tell me a quote from Avatar. Nobody can. You can't quote Avatar because it's boring and the story is nothing. It's artistic, but that doesn't matter. I remember laying down in the theater seats because I was like, maybe I can get a nap.
Yeah.
Like, I was just bored. And that's what this is. Like, they spent what little time they had because it is 2 years from pitch to theaters. 2 years.
Yeah, that's not.
That's pre-production, post-production, all of it for an animated movie. Like, that is insane. It's 4 to 7 years is an average. 2 years is too short amount of time. And I bet that's why this story sucks, because they had to do the story before they did the animation. So you can't go back and completely change the story.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I ranted a lot.
I did write down, they had a quote that, like, I do actually think fits, like, the movie and, like, kind of summarizes it pretty well as far as a theme. And I like the line, the director or somebody said, "Do I have to change to be accepted, or can my differences change the world?"
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. And, you know, okay. Yeah, because we've been kind of trying to figure out, like, they've got this whole, like, community thing going
have
on.
one real friend.
Yeah, but then, like, is he, I mean, the, like, big conflict seems to be, like, you have to conform, and so it's very anti-conformist, but also, like, he does fuck up when he's not anti-conformist. Like, that's a genuine thing that is a problem, and we've been trying to figure out exactly how to word that for this movie, and I feel like that, good job, director.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Though I will say, he was incorrect. He said 2 different contradicting things. One was incorrect. I'm sorry, but it was. The other one was okay. But he said that Gene, in the Candy Crush scene, was facing his greatest fear, because his greatest fear is deletion. First of all, no, it's not. And secondly, Gene in that scene is the most passive he is in any scene.
Yeah,
he's literally incapable of doing anything. And then in a different scene, when he's rejected by Jailbreak, he said that his greatest fear is expressing and exposing his emotions and being rejected because of them. That is much more realistic.
Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense.
I wrote down a list of all the jokes that the people that made this movie pretended was really funny.
Oh, yeah.
They really loved the donuts, the little donut holes, and they thought they were really cute, and they really loved that joke. They loved the kids walking into each other and hitting heads and falling down. They're like, oh, I love that joke.
Because they're looking at their phones, they're looking where they're going.
Yeah.
I have ridden a bike while reading a book. Okay, it's doable and it's fine. Yeah, I mean, don't do it, but like, I didn't run into anything.
They loved when TJ Miller does a British voice. They laughed at that. They loved the line, "I'm beaming with pride."
That was a good Jennifer Coolidge.
Thank you. I actually kind of think that the Matt parents are kind of funny too, but they like really loved it. They really loved when High Five kicks the red wagon, and they liked the Bye Felicia. They loved the finger puppets. They thought it was hilarious. They loved the sugar addiction joke, which like, okay. They loved...
Like, not only are we making fun of a chubby actor playing a chubby character, we're also making fun of his self-proclaimed, in a very serious way, addiction that we then see him act on in the way that an addict would. Okay.
Yeah, and then they just kept laughing at all of that whole scene. They loved the candy eating joke, and then they loved when he does the Schmeagol, "My precious," with one of the... Which, like, Schmeagol is obviously, like, a little crack addict, and so that's... But, yeah, those were the jokes that I made a note. They were like, oh, my gosh, I just love those. That's just hilarious. One of my favorite jokes. And I was like, I mean, whatever. I guess you've got to pick a favorite joke.
We could have just watched Showgirls. I wonder what would happen if we played Showgirls with, like, the sound of this over it. You know, like, sync it up, Dark Side of the Moon style.
Yeah. Someday.
So what was your emoji pop?
Oh God. I really liked. I think it's a good comedic beat, and even though I don't, we've discussed that like there is a lot of humor in the movie, but not a lot of like laugh out loud moments. One comedic beat that I do enjoy is when Jailbreak is attempting to dance High Five and Jean both do the like puppy dog like side like sympathetic inquisitive look. And it's, you know, it's in sync and it's cute and it reminds me of puppy dogs. Although we have rewritten that scene.
Yes. Oh, Lizzie's rewrite for that scene drastically improves the movie. Even if we left the rest of the movie the same, her rewrite drastically improves it. Please share with everyone.
It's not much. We just have to switch the characters because Jean clearly has this like performance anxiety.
Yeah.
That's what got us into this problem in the first place. And like he then is so cool and composed on the dance floor, and Jailbreak's the one that like she's like freaking out because she can't dance, and he's like, it's okay, just express yourself, which like I get that that's Jean's thing, but he should be freaking out about how...
Because he's been taught not to express himself.
Exactly. And then she should encourage him to, and it should be like, oh, I can express myself and be accepted and have it be this nice thing. I don't know. Just a very missed and confusing thing that like now he doesn't have performance anxiety or any problem with it.
But it would be perfect because she's been out in the world and so she's got that confidence and so she could give it to him, and then when he does the emoji pop and they go, what are you doing? And then they say, we love it, it would be cementing this new learned lesson. Instead it feels like he didn't learn anything. They just like make goo goo eyes for each other for a second.
Really learn anything.
Just like know me.
What was your emoji pop?
I did not have a very big one this time because I hit a hard wall and I have a plan to combat it. But I will say, I told you, I don't think I even wrote it down. I like in the piracy app like tavern scene, there's they look like skulls, but they're also they look like outlets, like power outlets. And it's just a repeated pattern that you see over and over, and you see it above the stage and on like the stairwell and then on the barrel. And I really enjoyed that. I just thought it was cute. And I also like that you only see that there. You don't see it anywhere else. So
yeah, all the apps are like very individualized, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, the
different designs of them.
And I mean, I liked watching the commentary because it really did point out some of the design features that I feel like I haven't seen actively, and I'll be looking for them. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna pull something out that I've had planned. I was gonna save it for later. The sun's not even down yet. We haven't even been doing this 12 hours, but I need it. I'm gonna put myself in Jean's shoes and try and force myself to have a facial expression that I'm not feeling. So we're about to eat dinner, so except for when I am chewing, I am going to smile just really big the whole time and just force myself to smile even though I just really don't want to, and just see how hard that is. And if Gene could fucking do it to save his civilization, because like he's not even hard to smile, he's just going,
yeah,
like Lizzie, do it now, look at her. No,
that's the face you make.
She hasn't even been trained since birth like Jean has. It's not that hard. So I'm gonna smile and we'll just see how that goes. And hopefully I won't freak out Lizzie and or Robert if we can get him for the next show. Lizzie, hey, how are you doing? You good to go into the 7th? We're not 12 hours in and we're 7 viewings in. It's gonna get
This is what I was so excited about, is we're gonna get so many viewings.
Oh god.
So many.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.